What's up, everybody? It's 369 three times, and today we're going to be talking about sobriety, particularly when things aren't going too great. Um, myself, I had a problem with alcohol and weed. I've been smoking weed since I was about 14, cigarettes as well, and drinking about the same time. Um, One day I just had enough and I quit all of them at the same time. And it had been that way for about 7 months. And then the other day, things were going good. Had a great day at work. It was really nice outside. And I just had the urge. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to go get a beer today. I've been without it for 7 months. Um, I don't really feel like I need it, but I feel like it'd just be nice. And I want to test to see if I'm going to fall back into where I was before, or if I can control myself now. So I went and bought the beer, had it. It was good. I didn't even really feel guilty or anything about doing it, and kind of felt more at peace. Like, oh, now I can control myself. Um, Over the next few days, I have been drinking more and more, and I can feel myself going back into where I was before. Um, I don't know if it's just a personality thing with me or if it's a habit that I developed in my brain. But let me give you a little bit of backstory on my drinking and why it became so severe. Um, so, throughout my childhood, I never really liked alcohol. I would drink it if my friends were like, come on, let's play a drinking game, let's play beer pong or something. Then I might. But if somebody was just passing around alcohol, I didn't like it. I didn't like the taste of it. I didn't like how it made you feel. Um, so I always liked weed growing up. I got into a relationship with this girl. I got her pregnant, and I had to find a good job to sustain and to take care of her and the child and myself as well. So I quit smoking weed, got a job. They drug tested, of course. And I started drinking as a substitute. And as my drinking got worse, the relationship got worse, and just a vicious cycle. Um, and then the relationship ended, and then it got really bad. And so I was drinking every day, every chance I could for 5 years, and I just stopped. I just had enough of it. I didn't like where I was at, didn't like how it made me feel. So I quit. And as a consequence of me quitting, I kind of lost a lot of friends around me. Um, they say that you're the average of who you surround yourself with. And when I got sober, it really made sense to me. And I really kind of opened my eyes and saw how my friends acted. I was noticing things that I never noticed before, that they were sloppy, that they were unmotivated. And I would think to myself, was that me? And it was. I was sloppy. I was unmotivated. Um, not getting good sleep. Always stuck at the same shitty job. Never going anywhere fast. And it was all because of my addictions. Um, During this past year, I lost a family member, really close family member, tragically. and I stayed sober through it. I didn't drink, and I saw other members of my family drink more, smoke more, and their grief snowballed into this just negative all around energy that was in their life. They're constantly sad, constantly grieving, having anxiety. And I could see it was attributed to their self-medicating lifestyle. So I have relapsed. But I notice it and I'm quick on correcting it. So yeah, as far as how I got sober, other than just me saying, fuck it, I don't want it anymore. Because if you're in the habit of doing these things and then you stop, your brain's gonna go crazy because that's all your brain's been doing. That's what your pattern is. And so your brain keeps telling you, do it, do it, do it, because it doesn't know anything else to do. So what I would do, especially to combat sleep, because when you quit a substance, you're going to withdraw and you're not going to be able to sleep. So every night I would run like 4 miles and I would just throw up. I would run a mile, throw up, run a mile, throw up. And it was my body getting all of that shit out to the time where, or to the point where when I got home and, after my run, my body and my mind would be so exhausted from me pretty much torturing a withdrawing body by just pushing sheer fucking will into it, being like, no, I'm going to run. I'm going to get this shit out of my system. I was so exhausted that it was easy for me to relax and go to sleep that way. Water, if you're addicted to, or if you're an alcoholic and you like beer, like carbonated water is good because it's just water, but it still has that like fuzzy, sharp carbonation that you crave. Another thing that I would do is I would drink kombucha. If you don't know what kombucha is, it's a fermented tea and it has very small amounts of alcohol in it. So small that if you're under 21, you can go and purchase it. I mean, it's very, very minuscule. I think it's like 1 or 2% of the thing. Like you would have to drink a few of them to amount to one beer. And you can't really drink too much of them. They're very vinegary, very sharp, but it will kind of soothe your body enough to where you can get to the next day. Quitting weed's always been easy for me. It's just not as addictive as alcohol. Cigarettes, that's a big one. I would recommend getting on some sort of cleaner nicotine substance and then weaning off that way. When you smoke cigarettes, you're used to smoking the cigarette. And even, it's not just the nicotine, but it's the act of taking a break, smoking a cigarette, and the deep breathing that can calm you down. So even when you switch to a alternate nicotine source, you're still going to be tense and your body's still going to be like, this isn't enough, this isn't enough. That's good. You just need to ride it out. Running, I personally hate running. It's just too time consuming for me. I'm a very impatient person, which I'm working on, but just run it out of you. Drink lots of water, eat good, get a lot of sleep if you can, as much sleep as you can. And you'll be surprised what you can do, what doors open up. I know I kind of sidetracked, but back to the friends. You're going to lose friends doing this. You're going to if you have friends that just drink all the time or smoke all the time, you're going to quickly realize that these people aren't good for you, and you're going to want to cut them out of your life. Even if they've been friends for 10, 15 years, you know, if you're to the point to where you're like, I just want what's best for me, and I'm going to put me and my life, my aspirations and goals above, hanging out with so-and-so, then it may be time to look at that. If you are in a relationship with a significant other that has a dependency, it will be extremely hard for you to get off of it if they're not on the same page. And if you do get sober and they're still doing their shit, you may realize that you don't really want to be around that person as much anymore. So if you're in a relationship and you both have a dependency, I would urge you to talk to the other person about getting on board with you and doing it, or else it's going to be nearly impossible to be spending your life with an addict and you on your way to getting rid of your addiction. I'm no expert on any of this. This is just my personal experience. I thought I'd share it with you guys, and hopefully this will help somebody out there. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll get back to you on it. But this 369 3 times. I'm out.